Would you guys like to see Dorian Finney-Smith or Royce O'Neale in the Miami Heat? What's up, Heat Nation? Your boy Ernest here, and I am back with a second Miami Heat Talk video for the day. This one's going to be a short one, you guys, but I couldn't wait to post this. Getting ready for the Miami Heat and Boston Celtics game tonight. I hope the Heat can pull this one out. But I want to talk to you guys a little bit about some trade rumors. Now, there's nothing huge going on, but after the game last night with the Memphis Grizzlies and Miami losing 4 straight, the fact that we haven't been able to crack 100 points, there's rumors flooding around saying that maybe the Miami Heat aren't done making trades. We've heard this, but we haven't really heard anything. Now, today, it was posted by William Galori from The Athletic. The Athletic is a very credible news source, a very credible reporting source that the Miami Heat are looking to be in talks with the Brooklyn Nets for either Dorian Finney-Smith or Royce O'Neale. Now, I want to touch up a little bit about these two players because the player that you're probably going to have to give up for a trade like this is probably a combination. You're going to have to give up Caleb Martin, Nikola Jovic, maybe Josh Richardson or Thomas Bryant. Caleb Martin makes $7 million. These other guys that I'm mentioning hover around the $2 to $3 million area. Now, let's start with Dorian Finney-Smith. Now, Dorian Finney-Smith, he's a little bit bigger than Caleb Martin. He's 6'7", 200 and I believe 10, 15 pounds. He plays the power forward, small forward position, so he plays the same position as Caleb. So he's a little bit bigger. Dorian Finney-Smith is averaging 8.9 points a game, 4.8 rebounds, 37% from the three-point line, 40% from the field, and 81% from the free throw line. I mean, he's a solid defender. He can hit the three-point shot. But they're basically the same player. I know Caleb's a little smaller, but they basically do the same thing. And Caleb Martin for the season, almost 11 points a game, 5 rebounds, 75% from the free throw line, almost 40% from the three-point line, 45% from the field, 5 rebounds a game. I know he's smaller, but I mean, I think Caleb just gives you something better. And then let's not forget the fact that Dorian Finney-Smith signed a 4-year, $55 million contract in the offseason. He's on the first year of that deal. So you trade for him, that gives you no flexibility moving forward. That's basically the same contract that Caleb Martin's going to get. So in my opinion, I'd just rather give that money to Caleb. So right there, I'm going to shoot down the Dorian Finney-Smith thing. Now, the player that I do feel that makes more sense is Royce O'Neale. Because here's the thing, you can't trade Caleb Martin for Dorian Finney-Smith straight up. The contracts don't match. Dorian Finney-Smith this year is averaging about $12.2 million. Caleb's averaging 7. Excuse me. So, if you're going to trade for Dorian Finney-Smith, it's because Miami's going to add another player. The numbers are just not going to work. I don't think the trade will go through. Now, the Royce O'Neale trade does make sense. Royce O'Neale this season averaging $8.5 million. You can make that trade because that falls under the 125% mark when you're making trades for numbers that don't match. So right there, that works. But it's the same situation. Now, Royce O'Neale does have a Caleb Martin contract moving forward. He's on the first year of his deal. He signed the 4-year, $36 million contract. Royce O'Neale is an inch taller, 6'6", 220 pounds. He resonates a lot with PJ Tucker, if you want me to be honest. Royce O'Neale is like a much younger PJ Tucker. He's averaging 7 points a game, 4.5 rebounds, 3 assists a game. He's giving you 37% for the field, not that great. A 35% three-point shooter. He had 65% from the free throw line. I mean, I guess, on this roster, he is a bigger body. He is somebody that you can play next to Bam Adebayo, so he does work. But look at the numbers I just gave you guys for Caleb Martin. If you guys want me to be honest, I don't think the Heat should make another trade. I think we should wait for the buyout. I get it, you guys. I know how frustrated we are with these last 4 games. I get it. But with an NBA basketball team, with any team at all, with franchises, you have your ups, you have your downs. You have your good times, you have your bad times. You love the team one day, you hate the team one day. Jaime Jaquez hasn't come back yet, you guys. Look, I'm not going to say Jaime Jaquez is the reason why we lost these games. But look, I mean, the numbers speak for itself. And look what he's been doing all season long. I think Jaime Jaquez gives us a better piece off the bench than what we have right now. He gives us more spark on this team. And it helps us win some of these games that we that we may have lost. Jaime Jaquez adds that little flair for this team. So, no, I don't think Jaime Jaquez is the main reason, but I think he's a reason. He's a crucial part of this roster. So I think you get Jaime Jaquez in this roster. With Terry Rozier, with Tyler Hero, with Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, Caleb Martin, Haywood Highsmith, Kevin Love, Josh Richardson, Duncan Robinson. Guys, the team is going to be fine. We just got to be patient. Now, we got some tough games coming up, so I'm not going to lie. These times might get a little worse. But I'm confident, you guys, that we don't really need to make a trade. We just need to get this roster more accustomed. We got to figure this offense out. Now, look, the buyout market, you may have some players like Kelly Olynyk, Danilo Gallinari. There may be another player that comes out of nowhere that the Heat can grab. The Heat can probably grab Gordon Hayward. Now that the Heat can offer more than the minimum contract in the buyout market, for all you know, you get Gordon Hayward, plug him in the starting power forward position, and he handles that offensive problem. We need to not just hit the panic button, Heat fans, whenever things go bad for a short period of time. We're going to fix this. We're fine. I'm fully confident. Yes, I understand. I'm a realist. Excuse me. I understand that things don't look good right now, but they can get better. I know the Heat roster can make some wins. And look, we win tonight against Boston. It's going to be a party. Everybody's going to forget about these bad times because we beat Boston. So Miami needs to take this one step at a time. So if you ask me, I don't think the Heat should trade Caleb Martin for either Dorian Finney-Smith or Royce O'Neale. I just think it hampers us more putting ourselves in those contracts, especially that we still have to pay Terry Rozier a few years now, getting out of the Kyle Lowry contract. So I don't think a trade is needed. Now, I will say this. I'm definitely open with trading Caleb Martin. I don't mind packaging Caleb Martin, Nikola Jovic, and maybe a future first-round pick if you're getting a starting power forward that can help us on front, who's a guy that can hit the shot and create next to Bam. There's just nobody available right now. I understand that people are putting, Heat fans are on Twitter and they're on my comments, talking about dreams like guys like Wendell Carter or Naz Reid, maybe even Andre Drummond. It's just none of those players are available. I'm sure the Heat would be interested in the idea, but they're just not available. And some of these guys, it doesn't make sense to trade for Caleb Martin. I get it. Caleb Martin is on the final year of his contract. We may lose Caleb for nothing, but what he can do for us in the playoffs is better than a lot of these names that I'm bringing up. So I think we just need to focus on hoping that we get somebody in the buyout market. And look, if we're able to make an upgrade and get a center or a power forward, I'm all for it. But I don't think it's Dorian Finney-Smith or Royce O'Neale. But you guys let me know in the comments.